Hi, and it's Sue here from Inspired Messages Monday, and we are in July, so the year is whizzing by, and as you can imagine, there is a lot going on. So the first card that came up, and I'm sure you won't be surprised for those people that are awake, we've got the Devil card, and you can see that he has these two people in chains, and that's what's actually going on. You know, we've been in slavery for thousands of years, and the whole of the world is actually fighting for freedom at the moment. So I wasn't surprised that this card came up, and obviously it is reflected in the stars, in the planets as well. So obviously we've got this Saturn square Uranus for the year, and we recently had the second visit of that. And we've also got well, you know, the breaking down of a system, really, haven't we? And a system that's been around for thousands of years isn't actually going to be dismantled in 5 minutes. So that's what this is about. And I've probably not mentioned Eris before, but Eris, lots of astrologers are now looking at Eris. Eris is the sister of Mars, and Mars was the god of war, and Mars is always prominent when we come to fighting and war. And so Eris is very feisty. She stands up for justice and freedom. And at the moment we have Eris squaring, and a square is always a challenge, Pluto, which is the planet of transformation. And so the next card that came up was this card, which actually ties in with Pluto. This is the Death card, but it is about transformation. It is the death. We have to have a death before we can have something new, before we can have transformation. So that's what, you know, this card is all about. So I'm not surprised that that followed the number 15. This is the number 13. And so at the moment, you know, this is kind of, or those two cards with the Eris squaring Pluto and the Saturn squaring Uranus till December. This is revolution versus the people running the show, trying to hold back the tide and the new era that we're moving into. So that's as I see this. This card is also about limitation, temptation, fear, and control. And it's what the world, you know, these two cards together is what the world is up against at the moment. But I do feel that we're winning. So, and I always end on a positive note. So, but we've got to be, real. We've got to look at our enemy in the face, and we've got to say that we're not going to put up with what's been going on. Expect anything and everything. It could be, you know, we have financial unrest, changes in how we live, food shortages maybe, whatever. I think it's likely to be a roller coaster ride, because we've got this Saturn which wants to stay as it is, squaring Uranus, which is all about freedom and rebellion and the new. So that's what the roller coaster ride is all about. So on the 10th we're going to have the new moon, and the new moon will be at 2:16 in the UK. It'll be 18 degrees of Cancer. So if you've got anything in Cancer or opposite in Capricorn around those degrees, it's likely it's going to affect you. A new moon is about planning new goals for the next 28 days. It means you can start something new, maybe even a new thought process, a new diet, a new way of being, any of those things. And you can perform a new moon ritual at that time. And if you want that, if you want to know how to do that and you don't know, then please send for my PDF, and I will send you that back, and I'll send you the full moon as well ritual and how to do that. So this new moon, at a new moon, we always have the sun and the moon together, and they are opposite the Pluto and squaring that Eris. So there is a lot going on. It's about fighting for justice, and actually that was the next card that came up. Maybe at the last, wouldn't say protest, but the last gathering in London, and I know a lot of people went to that, and I know a few people myself who went to that who said there was, they thought there was 2 million people. So that's what really this is about, fighting for justice. As I say, that was back on the 26th of June, and we haven't seen the last of that, definitely. We're having court cases represented by this, and they're all over the world, and people are being held to account as well. Notices of liability are being served to people. So there's a lot going on that is not being put out on mainstream media. And that is very positive. And we might expect something to happen on the 21st, because Eris actually stations. That means she stands still, and then she goes retrograde. And so, this is this goddess that's fighting for justice, standing still, going back. And when a planet goes retrograde, it's going back to finish something. So it's unfinished business. So I think, that we are in an unusual time. Things are bubbling underneath, and it's exciting. It's exciting because we know there are lots and lots of people are waking to actually what's going on, and we want more of that. So this new moon is actually trining Neptune, and this card came up, which is the Hanged Man, and that actually relates to Neptune. And so it's not, surprising that it came up. So a trine, it gives you, it's a nice flowing energy. So it gives you the energy to visualize the kind of world that you want to live in. So please do that. And that'll be it is the 10th, but it lasts longer. So 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Obviously on the 10th the energy is stronger at this time, but the energy is still around on those other days. So keep meditating and visualizing the kind of world that you want to live in. Be careful of misinformation, because that's what Neptune does as well. Rely on your intuition, on your gut, and make sure and double check everything. Don't take things at face value. So Neptune can represent sacrifice and devotion to a cause, which is maybe what's happening as well, but it can also play the victim. But the positive side of Neptune brings enlightenment, spiritual attunement, and breaking with the past and achieving a higher wisdom. So, we've always got a negative and a positive with everything. And so we need to be focusing on the positive, but we need to make sure that the negative, is actually looked at, we're not taken in, because Neptune can actually delude us, and it can put us under a spell. It can be an illusion, we can see something, it can be an illusion. So we really need to make sure that what we see is solid and real, and that you can prove what you're seeing and hearing and dealing with. So this new moon is in Cancer, as I said, and it's about family. Cancer is about the family, and actually we're creating new families with people of like mind, and those people who want to build a new world, a better world than what we've been living in, which has been a world of slavery. If you remember those first cards where we're all, the devil has chained the people up. So I think that's really important. And the Temperance came up, and she's an angel. if you can see that, she's got wings. Can you see that? And on the 13th and 14th of July, Venus is going to be conjunct, that's next to Mars for 2 days, and it's going to be in Leo, in the sign of Leo. So you need to use this time to connect to like-minded people, connect to nature and the cosmos as well, connect to everything that's real, that we know is real, like the flowers and the plants. That go and hug a tree, and sit in the garden, because we can do that at the moment, make the most of it. Do that as much as you can. Now that Venus Mars in Leo is very much heart-centered energy, and that connects to the Temperance card. She's the angel of healing, who brings intuitive gifts and peace to the world. So that is the last card, and I think that's really very, very positive, and a lovely card. And if you're born on the 14th, which I am, that is your presenting card, and so it's a bit like your sun or your ascendant in your birth chart. So whatever date you are, it might be worth looking at the major arcana to see what you present to the world. So it's quite interesting doing that. So yeah, that's the 14, which is the angel of healing. Okay, so the affirmation, the same as normal, because I think it's really important. I am a sovereign being and a sovereign soul, standing in my own truth of what is right and just. I am a sovereign being and a sovereign soul, standing in my own truth of what is right and just. So say that every morning. Gratitude is really important. Every morning, think about the day that you're going to have. Say, I'm going to have an awesome day today, and look at how much you're grateful for, the people around you who you can communicate with, the people who you love, and the people that you can see, that can visit you. So all that is really, really important, that we keep our vibration high, we connect with nature, we meditate. All that kind of thing is really important, that we don't get into fear or get upset, and that we keep a positive vibe. That's all I can say, really. If you want my help, you want to speak to me, you know where I am. My website is astrologysue.com. I'm on Facebook, you know that probably, and that's Astrology Sue Fletcher. I do put a post most days. And if you want to take my newsletter, just contact with me on my website. And if you want the PDF of the new and full moon rituals, then also do that. Just message me, and we'll go from there. So have a lovely July. I'm sure there's going to be lots going on. If you take my newsletter, please look at the links, because I usually put links under the life purpose section for you to look at, which I think is all important, because it keeps you up to date and up to speed to some of the things that are happening. And that's what I want to do. I want to share that knowledge with you. So have a great month, and I will see you in August. So bye for now. Bye bye.